Hey, what's going on everybody? Colin here from UroTuning. I'm joined today by Jake from P3 Gauges. Today we're going to be looking at installing a G80 gauge. This also fits G2X cars, I believe, right?
Yes, yep, same vent.
Same vent, same gauge. What we have here is our owner, Justin Welty, his G80 M3 Comp. Jake's here to install a gauge, show us all the quirks and features of it, to quote Doug DeMuro. So we're going to go ahead and dismantle it, also show you how to install it, because it's a little more intricate on the G80, I think, than the
it's pretty standard. It's more intricate than, like, say, the Mark 8 that's going to use just an enclosure that don't have to mess with the vent. But on this one, we're going to pop the vent out. We're going to take it to a workbench, put that display in the vent, pop it back in. Maybe takes 10, 15 minutes.
Totally DIY, so something a beginner could even do.
And completely reversible. So if you're renting or leasing your car, you can put that back to stock. You don't actually have to break anything. It's kind of like Lincoln Logs or a Rector set, Legos, whatever, snaps together, snaps back apart, not a big deal.
And you don't need any special tools except a trim tool?
A trim tool, maybe like a pocket screwdriver or a knife, something like that.
Easy. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Not a lot to it.
Yes, very simple here.
Come on over, Noah.
Like most cars, we're gonna just be focusing on removing the side trim. And on this car, there's not really any fasteners that hold the vent in place. We just have two harnesses that we need to worry about for backlighting behind this panel and the lighted vent wheel. So we're gonna pretty easily just pop this side trim loose. You don't even have to take it all the way off. That should suffice. And then this is gonna just kind of pop forward. There's no fasteners, so just kind of work it forward. And don't yank really hard, because you do have some harnesses that don't have a ton of slack. This is the part where you may or may not need a small pocket screwdriver or a knife, where you can just kind of wiggle these out. They're just kind of tight. Just got little locking tabs that are a little hard to get out. So a tool like that can make it much easier. And there you go. We've got our vent loose and ready to jump over to the workbench, pop our display in the top portion of the vent.
So we're back inside. We've got the vent disassembled. Again, this took 30 seconds in the car. You can do it with a hand tool. You could probably almost do it with no tools.
Yeah, if you want to get spicy.
Yeah. So we've got our gauge here. You get the same stuff in every gauge, V3 gauge that you order. Jake, can you walk me through
three
this?
main components. You got your display, you get your control box, and then you got your harness assembly. So you'll notice on this display, as Colin gets that stuff out, we have a little fork extension taped to the display. I'll show you what that is in a second. Be mindful of that, don't lose it. We've got our harness.
And cool stickers, cheap R stickers.
Yeah, cheap R sticker, P3 gauge sticker.
There's your control box assembled on 9/2.
Like that. So now, that was your birthday?
9/3 is my birthday,
Dude,
pretty close.
Happy birthday on the 3rd, okay.
Anyways, what are we looking at, Jake?
All right, so all we have to do on this is to pop the trim face off of the vent. If you've got a G80, you probably have some illumination going back here, so make sure you're careful about this ribbon cable that's connected between the vent and the trim face.
So this can seem a little intimidating, but literally all this is a couple of retaining clips.
Yeah, you just have these little clips through here. We're gonna pop them loose like so.
And you can see Jake's doing this with a knife. You can do this with a flathead screwdriver. You could do this with a pocket knife. You can do this with a trim tool.
Yes.
They're just plastic push pins. You can see it popped right out.
So now we're gonna be, like I said, mindful of that ribbon cable. We want to rotate this around like that, and we wanna gain access to the front of the vent. And so now we're gonna go ahead and just work these loose. These are really rubbery as well. So the side bars that hold all the slats in place are like rubber, which is kind of cool. Makes it a little easier to take apart without potentially cracking something. But we're just gonna, just like so, pull it out. And then your fork will be attached. It kind of clips off like that. So now the only thing that's different on these is we're gonna move this control handle, if you will, to the bottom right there. So what we'll do is we'll take these apart real quick. And if you kind of lay this in an orderly fashion, it'll be a lot easier to put back together. We're not going to use that one. We're not going to use this one in the end, but we will use that one. And so now we need to take this handle off of this slat. How we do that is we pop this fork loose. And note that when the fork is in its regular position, the fork is kind of off to the right, on the right side. So note that right there. And now we just clipped it because we're a little limited on tools here, but you have to kind of trim the face of this round edge down. So either with a knife or snips, kind of right in the plane of my thumbnail there. I'm kind of intersecting where that circle used to be. And that's, I'll show you why in a second. We're gonna set that down like that. Just slide this off the side like that. And now we will not use that. Now we've got our bottom slat. We're gonna slide that into place like so. And then now that we've relieved that little round circle, we can just snap this guy right into place on the bottom. Just like that. And then we actually don't need that anymore either. Can set these in place. And now Colin, my assistant, if you'll ever so kindly hand me that display. Thank you, sir. And then this is where the little fork guy comes in. So we're gonna peel that off and take the tape off. This fork needs to be extended now that we moved it down to the bottom slat. And so we will take this 3D printed extension here and just kind of slide it over the top, and it will kind of just clip into place. And if you look at the bottom,
that was satisfying. You can hear that click.
Just kind of snaps into place there. So now we'll take our display with the cover getting peeled off there. It's sticking to me.
So Jake, one of the benefits P3 gauges is it integrates pretty seamlessly. One question that we get a lot at UroTuning specifically is how does this affect airflow?
Okay, everything's a compromise. So that we get this question a lot. With all of our gauges, we want the aesthetics to look nice, but we also want it to be functional. And so you do, obviously, we're blocking maybe about half of the vent there. So you're gonna lose some of that airflow, but in my experience, any of the cars I've had, you can get plenty of air, plenty of heat still.
It's never been an issue. We're based in Florida. We're putting this in a Florida car. I have one in my car, one in my personal car. I've never noticed an issie, but it is a question that comes up.
Oh yeah, people ask it all the time, so it's good to address that. Now we want to run the display cable through the far left side of the vent over where my hand is. And we don't want this cable to be twisted up. That's about the only thing we need to worry about there. And then we do need to make sure that this fork gets clipped into that center vent slat like that. And so that way you don't lose your side to side motion. And then we'll just kind of push these back into place like so. And they're kind of rubbery, so but they'll still kind of have a clip that they snap into place. And now we're going to put this back. If I can configure it right, there we go. Basically just gonna line your top two up, also minding the tension on that ribbon cable there. And then we're gonna line the bottom three up and snap it into place like that. And now we've got this put back together and ready to go back in the car.
So we'll head back out to the car. We'll show you how to reassemble it. Super easy. Use your control box and wiring harness. And again, it can be reassembled in 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
So let's do it.
Okay, back in the car. All we're gonna do is make sure we plug our harnesses back in. So we got that one and that one. You can see the illumination taking effect there. And then we're gonna drop our display cable down through the opening and out the side dash. And then again, we want to make sure this isn't super twisted up. And then we're just going to feed this back into place. Should just snap right in like so. And now we're going to take the OBD2 section of our harness and feed it up right around where the OBD2 connector is. If I can get it up there. I see it. I see it, but I can't get it. Just go ahead and pull that through and then connect the OBD2 connector down underneath. And then we'll connect our main harness and connect our harness to our control box and the control box to the display cable. And at this point, you're probably going to see some dots on the screen come across. That means the gauge is looking to connect to your network. We can bundle the cables, tuck them in the dash, clip that back together, and now you are complete. And give your engine a start. Your first startup may take a little longer than normal, but you'll see the dots starting to go faster. That means the gauge is paired with the network. Once the gauge fires up, you can then use the right button to just cycle through the different readouts. So we've got boost, speed, battery voltage, RPM, engine oil temp, intake air temp, ignition timing, exhaust gas temp, ignition timing, throttle angle, air fuel ratio, coolant. You get multiple coolant sensors and intake air temp sensors. Performance timers as well. You can read and clear codes from this, and we're back to boost. It's going to turn on and off with your engine automatically. Great little product that's easy to install, gets you a lot of data, and it's available at UroTuning.com.
Sick, Jake. I appreciate you showing us that. You can get the full list of options and all the add-ons and stuff too, because there's actually more you can get with this product on the website at UroTuning.com. They sell these for a bunch of other platforms as well. Jake, I appreciate you coming out here, spending the time with us. It's awesome hanging out with you. Love you guys. So, like I said, check out any other P3 product you might need, as well as P3 products for your G80 gauges. Jake, any last notes? Anything else to throw out there?
I guess I'm probably not going to get to rip this one like the Marquette. Probably not the best idea.
We can get footage of Justin doing it.
Yeah, we'll do that later.
Awesome.
We'll get the stunt guy in there.
Well, dude, I appreciate it.
Dude,
Thanks so much.
thank you.
We'll see you guys later.